On January the 1st, 1948, British Railways was created by the nationalization of the Big Four. And entire Britain's network was recovering from the bloodshed of World War II. And as such, the new chief mechanical engineer, Robert Riddles, decided to build a standard range of locomotives. And so, this is where the science began. Riddles designed his locomotives from standard class 7 Britannia to the heavy freight engines, the 9Fs. In 1951, Riddles designed his very first standard class design, the standard class 7 Britannia. In total, 55 locomotives were built between 1951 and 1954, with numbers 70,000 to 70054, and all the Britannias were allocated to the regions. For example, the London Midland region, the Scottish region, the Eastern and Northeastern regions, the Western region, and of course, the Southern region. All these Britannias carry their names, but one of these Britannias haven't carried a name. The engine was 70047, an engine who never named. The engine had been worked for British Railways for many years, and he did a very good job pulling passengers and freight. But it wasn't until the 1960s that dieselization had come, and 70047 was withdrawn from service. And happily, a member of a group of the Sealining Railway came to save the engine, and so 70047 had come to Windward Island. And so, before he had come to Windward Island, 70047 had already got a name, and his name was Sal, and the name Sal was suitable for using on the Sealining Railway. After 70047 got his name, his tender, a BR1D tender, was replaced by a BR1 tender. And years later, Sal worked on the Sealining Railway for many years. It wasn't until years later he met a friendly vampire. Her name is V. And so Sal introduces himself to V. And soon they had become friends forever. And Sal loves to come to Transylvania, here on Windward Island, and it was so spooky, and Sal didn't afraid of anything, because he was a brave engine. And today, Sal, being at the standard class 7 Britannia, is fully operational and still at work. And right now, let's take a look at an example of Sal, a BR standard class 7 Britannia, ensuring his bases by a yardmaster, Mr. Lindsley. This is Sal, a BR standard class 7 Britannia. Now let's get to see the bases, shall we? One of the most interesting things about Sal is the cylinder arrangement, and it comes from the Eastern design. The boiler was tapered from the London Midland region, and the training wheels was totally southern. And one of the most interesting things about Sal, it has his smoke deflectors on his sides, his nameplates Sal on his sides and his smoke deflectors, a standard footplate with 70047 on his sides, a BR1 tender. Well, one of your main problem while driving is sleeping. But all the same, terrible from sleeping from starting on the station for the heavy train. You gotta be so careful with opening the brake detectors. So blinking careful. But they got no trouble out then. I'm in the mixed traffic Pacific, where I'm there in the morning with a boss Fred. Have no objection when this one will go. Now let's see Sal in action. Here we see him at the Sealining main line with a fast freight. Two engines on the siding. Here we have Sal, a BR Standard Class 7 Britannia, alongside Adam, an A2/3. These two engines don't mix traffic, meaning they can pull passengers and goods all over Windward Island. And now we see Sal depart Lineside Station, northbound to McStuffinsville. And later that day, he was seen again, returning to Lineside Station with the stopping train. And then he had to go back to Transylvania, because he was eager to see V. For many years, Sal was the locomotive of the Sealining Railway for many years. But the question is, what are the characteristics of Sal? Mr. Lindsley will speak this one. Well, his characteristics are sadness, joyfulness, neglection, and threatened. Well, the main reason is Sal was threatened to lose his friends. The other main reason that he loves V a lot. And another reason is that he cannot be himself alone. And so that was the reasons why Sal was happened. But he was still cheerful, but putting work in order and working hard as usual. And so yes, that was his characteristics. Today, Sal was still operational on the Sealining Railway, hauling passengers and goods all over the Sealining Railway. But when he comes to Transylvania, he always loves V a lot. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to comment, rate, like, share and subscribe. And remember, The Adventures of the Sealining Railway is coming soon this year. Thanks for watching!